Hi friends! So this video is for the first grade math group that's doing the unit on measurement. So things are going to be a little different because we're going to be measuring at our houses instead of at school, but I hope we have a lot of fun with this unit. This happens to be one of my favorite units because we get to measure fish and measure things around the house using different kinds of measuring tools. So there's two kinds of measuring tools. There's standard measurement tools and there's non-standard measurement tools. And standard measurement tools are tools that everybody uses anywhere. So carpenters, people at the store, your mom and dad. These are things that when you measure the same item, you'll most likely get the same answer. So a ruler. If I had a tissue box and I used a ruler from my house and measured it, and you took the same tissue box and measured it with a ruler from your house, we would most likely get a similar answer. Non-standard measuring tools are tools that are used to measure things, but we're probably not going to get the same answer, like a paperclip. If I were to measure something at my house using a large paperclip, and you were to measure the same thing at your house using small paper clips, we're going to get a different answer. So we're going to play a little sorting game on standard and non-standard measuring tools. I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm going to ask you whether or not you think it's a standard or non-standard measuring tool. So think about it. Tools that are used universally anywhere. You'd find them at Home Depot. You might find them at Stop and Shop. You might find them in your house. Those are going to be tools that mostly everybody uses to measure something. So let's see. First one, a protractor. Do you think it's a standard or non-standard measuring tool? It is a standard measuring tool. A protractor could be used as a ruler, and it is also used to find the angles of something, and you'll be learning about angles when you're a little bit older. So this is a standard measuring tool. What about money? Do you think money would be standard or non-standard measurement? It would be non-standard. What if I measured something with a penny and you measured something with a quarter? Do you think we would get the same answer? We wouldn't. We wouldn't get the same answer because a penny is smaller than a quarter, and therefore we would not get the same answer. A measuring cup. Do you think it's standard or non-standard? It is a standard measuring tool. So friends who like to bake and cook, I bet you use a measuring cup. So it has the measuring tools right here, pint, cup, quart. So it has all of the tick marks that you need to know on where to put water, flour, oil, whatever it is you're cooking. Paper clip. So we talked about paper clips. Do you think it's a standard or a non-standard measurement tool? It is a non-standard measurement tool because my paper clip could be a lot smaller than your paper clip, or it could be a lot larger than your paper clip, and we would not get the same answer if we were measuring things. So it is a non-standard measuring tool. A pencil. Do you think it's standard or non-standard? It is non-standard. And the reason why is because pencils come in all different shapes and sizes, especially after you use them and sharpen them. So I could be measuring something with 3 large pencils, but you might do the same measurement but with 6 smaller pencils. So it is a non-standard measuring tool. A scale. So some of you might have these at home. Scales look different. At the grocery store, now they're just flat and on the register, but when I was a kid, they would be hanging and you could put fruit and vegetables in it and it would weigh how much an item was. So do you think a scale is a standard or a non-standard measuring tool? It is a standard measuring tool. It is used to measure weight. A yardstick. Do you think it's standard or non-standard? It is a standard measuring tool. A yardstick can be used to measure longer items like a floor or a table or a carpet. It is very similar to something else that we are going to have in this pile of pictures. So it is a standard measuring tool. A tape measure. Do you think it's standard or non-standard? It is a standard measuring tool. Tape measures can be used to measure anything from floors to carpets to tables to anything. So this is a standard measuring tool. You're going to hear my dog bark in about 10 seconds, I mean. A boot. Do you think a boot is a standard or non-standard measuring tool? It is a non-standard measuring tool. The reason why it's not a standard measuring tool is because this size boot is going to be different than your size boot. So if I were to measure my mattress with my boot, my mattress might be 8 feet long. But if you measure my mattress with your foot, it could be 16 feet long. So this is a non-standard measuring tool. Last one. A ruler. Do you think a ruler is a standard or a non-standard measuring tool? It is a standard measuring tool, I'm sorry. A ruler, hopefully everybody has seen and used before, can measure any item flat. So we could measure a book, or we could measure a tissue box, or things like that. So it is a standard measuring tool. Now when you measure something, you have to measure the length, how long something is. So if I were to measure Grayson's toy, I would put my measuring tool right on this corner, and I would measure all the way along this side, and I would stop here. So I'm going to put this on my table, and you can't really see it right now, but I'm going to take my tape measure, and I'm going to measure how long Grayson's toy is. So I'm going to put it in the corner and in the other corner, and his toy is 9 inches long. So remember, when you're measuring the length of something, you're measuring how long it is. So if you have any questions, you can email me.